guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my very first story time type of video. Don't mean to be a damper, but I really wanted to share with you guys my story and how I became a makeup artist. For the beginning of the story, I'm just going to warn you, it's not the nicest start off. So I just want to warn you, it's not to be a damper. It has a really nice happy ending, but I figured I would tell you guys how I got there because lately I've been pretty open. Probably in the last year. It is the reason why I am where I am today and doing what I am doing today, and I'm not doing a whole different path in life. So I figured I would tell you guys. And before I get started, this little purpley makeup look, I know it's kind of weird for this video, but I did liquid liner with liquid lipstick. If you want to see how I got that look, check out my mini tutorial on my Instagram, which is at MUAJessK. And one more thing before I start, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button if you like this video, and I will be posting again this week. And yeah, I guess I'll start with the video. So when I left high school, I was actually a nursing student. I went into university at Trent University. Summer before that, I went to Veld Music Festival with a guy I was dating at the time. Closer and closer to the time we were supposed to be at the event, we finally got vodka. We got underage. I was underage. I was a responsible kid, but I was underage, and we drank vodka, but we didn't have a lot of time for the event, so we were just like going. I got so drunk. I don't even remember going onto the subway going to the event, so I don't remember a lot. Like, so many regrets on that night. Something good did come of this. Regrets, yes, I was 17, I was a kid, whatever. But once we got to the event, we separated from our friends. I was sick. Nice. I was really sick at the event, and I had heart issues before this. Like I had been I was tested when I was in like grade 7 or something, and they never really came of anything. Not only was I drunk and throwing up, I was feeling lightheaded. I think I was having a huge panic attack. So when I say panic attack, you know when some people say they're having a panic attack and it's like more calm, I was like screaming. People were touching me. I was freaking out because I didn't feel right, and I knew it wasn't just because I was drunk. Obviously, it was maybe more dramatic because I was drinking, but it was more than that. I felt like my chest was gonna blow up. Like I just was panicking. Thank God my boyfriend at the time, he took me to the med tent. He didn't just try to like calm me down. I wasn't really aware of what was going on. I was around all these people that were like on drugs, and like it was just a shit show, to be honest. It was such a shit show. But then my mom came in. They brought her in on a golf cart into Veld Music Festival. So we ended up going to the hospital. And this is a good thing that came of this. So obviously I was okay. I was actually more having a panic attack than anything. But when they did my ECG at that hospital, I happened to notice something, and like I was fine. I went home. I ruined the festival for the guy I was with and whatever. But shit happens. To be honest, shit happens. But this was a good thing that came of it, because they couldn't before this figure out what I had or what was going on with me, because I would have little blackouts. I had them since I was a kid, and I couldn't see anything, so I would just sit there and like count and stand and hold on to something just so I didn't tip over or anything. Then now they're talking about me going to see a specialist. At that time, they kind of just saw something small. They didn't really see it as an emergency. So that was in August, and then I still went to university in September. And of course, if you are a university student or if you have kids in university, whatever it is a huge life change. I wasn't sheltered, but I was very like I wasn't allowed to drink. I had rules. That's just how my life was. So when I went off to university at 17, it was like, oh, okay, you can do whatever you want. Like, you can drink, you can stay up late, you can do whatever. I went from so responsible to the polar opposite. I just went crazy, and I'm the first one to admit that. I wouldn't admit it at the time. I ended up not being in a relationship anymore. Just had no one to tell me what to do and what not to do. So I was like, woo, like I was just going. My specialist appointment was already booked before I went to university. So it was going to be, I think it was in October. I think it was October because it was when midterms were happening. So I did a shit job in school. It was so unfortunate because I worked so hard to get there. And then I just was like partying and like stupid shit. That's what 17-year-olds do, I guess, that's just what happens. So anyways, I go to my appointment. This is like a huge background story. I'm so sorry that this is taking so long. But I go to my appointment. I didn't know what to expect. This is before I was specifically diagnosed. They just said, we saw something, we sent it out, we want you to see a specialist, basically. Cool. I didn't want to go by myself, so I did go with my grandma, actually. My parents were both working that day, so my grandma took me, and the whole thing, I had never been to this PACE clinic before, so I belong to a place called PACE. So anyways, I go there, and I didn't know that. So what they basically do, you give them a health card, whatever, you sit down. So we're sitting down. They call you up for one test. You do the test, you go sit back down. They call you up for the next test, and so on and so forth. So I just knew basically of that appointment. I wasn't really thinking. I didn't think I was going to see a doctor that day. I just thought I was going to do a quick test. I did know I was having a Holter monitor put on, so I just thought I'd get that put on and then leave. This was the worst day of my life. This has actually scarred me, I think, for the rest of my life. So anyways, I think I did a stress test and an echo. And then I sat with this lady. She put a Holter monitor on, which is one of those monitors that have 3 wires. I think this one had 3 wires. 2 connect at the top and 1 goes like kind of under your bra. I think it's on the left side, yeah. Kind of on your ribs. And I was supposed to keep this on for freaking 2 weeks. They just wanted to really see what was going on. Anyway, so they said after this Holter monitor is put on, okay, you're good. So I said, okay, cool, I'm gonna go home. Like I didn't say that, but I was like, okay, cool, okay, we're done, cool. So I have this machine on, I go home. So now my grandma's gone home as well, and I'm sitting, I remember this day so vividly. I was sitting in my basement eating cereal, and I get a call, and they go, Jessica, where the hell are you? And I'm like, I'm at home, like, what's going on? And they said, you haven't even seen the doctor yet. So I'm like, shit! Like, I freaking left the appointment when this specialist is so hard to get into. And I just went home because I didn't know what was going on. I want to call my grandma again because I'm like, cool, I just have to see the doctor. I'm going to reiterate whatever I've already been told. So now I'm by myself talking to this radiologist guy who I don't know. And he just starts looking at my results and, okay, one sec. So he starts looking at my results, and he starts just asking like, sorry. Oh my god, I didn't realize this was gonna be so hard. Okay, so he starts looking at my results, and he starts asking questions, just being like, their family, has anyone suddenly died from cardiac arrest, or just, just died? And I'm like, no, like, why? Like, and I'm a kid, I was 17, so from, sorry, I can't talk, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so from then on, he starts talking about prolonged QT syndrome and putting me on medication, and that's fine. Like, you have to do what you have to do, but I was by myself. I didn't expect anything to even be said. And it's actually like, at first when he was even talking, I didn't even hear what it was called. I didn't hear anything else. I just was like staring at him, and like, I didn't know what to do. So then he gave me beta blockers. I don't remember what that one was specifically called, but it was a beta blocker, so it was to regulate my heart rate and basically correct the prolonged QT syndrome. So I'm just going to read to you guys. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. This is 4 years ago now, but it was just such a shitty day. Long QT syndrome, LQTS, is a congenital disorder characterized by a prolongation of the QT interval in an ECG. So when you're looking at the heart rate or whatever, the spikes, for people who don't know anything about ECGs. Okay, so I don't really know, and a propensity to ventricular, I don't even know what the last word says, but it's basically like that interval is too long, basically. And then it says, may lead to syncope, cardiac arrest, or sudden death. Okay, so syncope is a temporary loss of consciousness due to a drop in blood pressure. So that is officially what I am diagnosed with. So then the worst part of this has nothing to do with becoming a makeup artist, this little part here, but the worst part of this day was, now I've been told, the way I took that was, okay, you have this and you could die. Okay, I'll just go home now and like finish my bowl of cereal. Like, what? I wasn't crying in the office because I was like, what the hell is going on? When did this happen? Like, what happened? So then I leave, and now I'm going to leave the parking garage. So now I'm in hysteric. Then I finally got a hold of my dad, and I'm bawling my eyes out. And now I'm realizing that the parking garage only takes credit cards, and I don't have a credit card. So now not only am I stuck in this damn parking garage, I'm bawling my eyes out because I think I'm gonna die. Like, And I'm on the phone with my dad just freaking out. So he's trying to calm me down and I'm like, how the fuck do I get out of this parking garage? Like I can't get out, so I'm just blocking this line up, freaking out. And I call my grandma. She comes back. She brings me her credit card so I can get out of this damn parking garage. And that was the end of that day. That was the enough for one day. And I was going back to school because reading week was done. So now I'm on this medication. This medication has side effects of nightmares, which can become night terrors. And I'm a nervous sleeper generally. So it got really, really bad actually. And it also makes you fall asleep. Like you can't stay awake. I was a first year nursing student. I couldn't stay awake. I was covered in actually like almost like I had raw skin almost from wearing the Holter monitor for 2 weeks. Like my best friend at school, she would actually sit there and it's almost like she had to wax it because it hurt so bad to pull off after 2 weeks, like continuously putting it on. Because my skin was literally like blistering, like scabbing and blistering, but you had to put it on in those spots. So she would like wax it off when I had to shower, like a sticky patch and then a wire attached to it. And I was so embarrassed. I didn't want anyone to know about it. So I went shopping with my mom and I bought all these sweaters that would almost hide the Holter monitor because I didn't want people to ask about it. Because I didn't even know how to answer it. Like I didn't know how to answer people that would be like, what's going on? Like I was like, I don't know. Anyway, so then I was having a really hard time at midterms. I couldn't stay awake. And then I was also going through mental issues. Like I just think that was just so much to take in. And then it's like, okay, go back to school by yourself. And I had, of course, my friends there. Like they understood, I think, the most out of everyone. Because they saw, like they obviously didn't know me before school, but they actually saw what was going on. And I was like a pretty strong person, like not to toot my own horn, but like I would just put on a poker face and act like it's all cool and dandy, but like there's so much shit going on in my head. I was already not doing well in school. Doing badly in school wasn't caused by my heart problem before that. I was being an idiot before that, but after that I couldn't focus, I couldn't study. From then on I started having more panic attacks because I thought something was going on because you've had this thing put in your head that like, okay, well you could die, but you don't understand any of it. So whenever I felt any type of, when your heart races, like I thought something was happening, so I would freak out. My friend Claudia was always stuck with me being a spaz, and that was just a shitty time. So then come December, that was when we decided that I wasn't going to go back, that I was going to drop out. I needed to stop trying to do so many things at once, and I needed to drop out of school. When I came home from school, a lot of bad stuff happened. I really butt heads with my parents. Like I just was so angry. Like I was just so annoyed on what was going on. I just was starting medication and I was drinking and partying and like, I just didn't care. I just didn't care about anything. And then I still originally wanted to go back to school for nursing. So finally I started to figure stuff out. I started getting along with my parents a little bit better. Worked at one of my mom's stores. I just was so like screwed up. And then I started getting things like, I got really bad nightmares. I'm not saying like nightmares. I meant like I would cry going to sleep. Like I remember I used to work until midnight in Newmarket, and on my way home I would call my mom and force her to stay up because I was so scared of getting out of my car by myself. Like, and driving home I was scared. Like I was scared of the dark. I felt like a kid. But I couldn't help it because that was a side effect of the medication I was on at the time. And I actually I was 18 at that point. I was sleeping with my parents sometimes. Like this sounds so ridiculous and I'm actually kind of embarrassed to say that. It's almost like I don't want to sound like I'm crazy. This is gonna make me sound crazy, but I would see things because I was so tired that I would be like half asleep, half awake. It was just, I was all over the place and I would wake up crying. I would wake up like I was actually like a kid with night terrors. And so then later on my mom said, like she could tell I wasn't myself. Like she just knew I'm not an angry person. And I just didn't know if nursing was going to be for me anymore. So then I was working at a Shoppers Drug Mart just doing front cash, but there is a beauty boutique, a large beauty boutique in the store I was working at. So I would always like talk with the girls, and because my mom worked in head office, and she works for she runs the beauty boutique, she's a cosmetic coordinator. They knew who my mom was, so it was just a common interest. And I would always like go and sneak over and be like, oh, I'm just gonna clean like the makeup area and start like face the makeup area because I just wanted to look at all the products and see what there was. Like, yeah, we were just talking about makeup and going to school for makeup and I should do it, and it just became like that kind of a conversation. So then we talked with my mom, and to say I was planning on going back to nursing and becoming a nurse and doing university or college or whatever it was, and then being like, I want to do makeup. I feel like most people say like, oh, how'd your parents react? But because my mom was a makeup artist, my dad knew that makeup could get you somewhere in life. Like, they were like, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's figure out where you can go. You know, let's not go somewhere and not like it and lose money because I don't like it. So I ended up doing a little certificate program, cost me $1,000. And that was only a 6-week program. I went to Canadian Beauty College in Newmarket, and it was just like, I feel like it was turning my life around and creating something positive again and letting me be creative and just forget other things that were going on. So I ended up doing my diploma program as well, which was 5 months, and that's when Lordana was my teacher, and I was in a class with a great group of girls. But yeah, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with having fun with makeup. I also ventured into eyelash extensions after that because Lordana had said, you know, people love lash extensions too. Anyways, so on and so forth. I was suddenly like in makeup, like I was in makeup, and then a job opening became available at a local salon, and it's not just any local salon. It is a very, very, very popular local salon. It's a Victoria Bork beauty boutique, and I told my mom there's a job opening for a makeup artist. I was still in school, so I hadn't even graduated at this point, like, at all. And I'm like, I don't even know, like, am I good enough to actually be a makeup artist? Like, what am I doing with my life? And my mom's like, if you don't go to that interview, like, you know, you're in a lot of shit. You better get your ass to that interview. And so I put my resume in, and then they said, like, okay, bring your kit. And I was like, what if I don't have one? Like, I just was so new. That was the very first time I pushed myself and was like, get over your freaking insecurities, whatever it is about what you want to do. Like, if they don't like your makeup, worst thing they do is say, no, sorry, you don't get the job. It was my very first interview, and I was so nervous. Oh my god, I was so nervous. So basically, I ended up going to the interview. I knew Victoria. She had done my brows a couple times, and she actually did my prom makeup. I knew her sister better, so I danced with her sister for years. Her younger brother's my age, so I like knew the family, but I didn't know Victoria herself very well, and she made me really nervous because she's really good at makeup. So I have never in my lifetime sweat so bad. Like, I mean, like, Victoria, I was doing a working interview, so I was doing makeup on the co-op student at the time. And I literally was sweating so bad that Victoria had to, like, walked away because she's like, oh shit, this girl's gonna freaking pass out right now. Like, wet, like balls of sweat on my upper lip. I was gripping this girl's head so hard, like I was going to die. Like, I was gripping her head so hard. Anyway, so then I would turn my head, and I'm pretty sure an actual tear, my eyes were watering, just because I was, like, in bright lights, I wasn't used to it, and my eye actually teared down. After that, I was terrified. I did not get the job. Like, and this was like the very first time I was like, okay, my life went downhill so fast when I was 17. So now I'm 18. I was still in school. Like, I was like, oh my god, is this an opportunity of a lifetime? If it doesn't work out, you know, I was trying to be like positive. My whole thing in life at this point was, now that I was becoming a happier person, was to look at positive outcomes. I was still dealing with nightmares on the side of all this, but I was becoming ambitious again. I was just so motivated, and I wanted to do well in life. I wanted to be nice to people. I wanted to make friends, and I actually became friends with the people who I'm friends with right now, who are amazing people in my life. My whole life was just changing, and it for the better, 100%. Oh, and then she didn't call me. Victoria's very busy, but she didn't call me, so I was like, I'll wait one extra day. And then when she said she was going to call me and then I'll call her, I guess. I don't know what to do right now. Like, I was like a kid. I was very immature. I didn't know how to talk to people that were older than me. Like, I wasn't confident in myself. So I finally called her, and I said, like, hey, just curious if you filmed the spot. And she goes, oh, yeah, like, you got the job. I forgot to call you. And I was like, oh, you just made me shit my pants. I was freaking out. I was like, I didn't get the job. I embarrassed myself. These are people that live in my hometown. I'm from a small town, so, like, I embarrassed myself. I did a bad makeup. I hate myself, whatever. And then I got the job. I'm a makeup artist now. I do brow waxing. I am a full-time, actually, I specialize more in lash extensions than anything. Like, I've only been working at the salon for almost 2 years. But, yeah, it was the 100% the best opportunity, and I would have been so mad at myself if I didn't go to that interview. Like, when I talk about my job, I think people who aren't in makeup and who don't have, like, if they're in makeup but they don't have the right passion for it, like, they have other wants from it, like popularity and things like that. That's not what mine is about. Like, if you're a client of mine, or if you are a client at the salon, I don't think you guys realize how much you do for me, because I was, like, in such a shitty place, and again, oh my god, I was in such a shitty place in my life, and there was so much negativity, and now I'm surrounded by beautiful people and people who are in this industry for the right reasons. Like, this is the most fulfilling job I could have ever asked for. It's literally made me who I am today. I'm so much more social. Like, I am a social person. If you know me personally, you know I'm a chatterbox, but I love talking to women of all different ages. I love making them feel so good about themselves. Like, that is what our whole career is about. That is what the salon is about. It sounds so dramatic, but literally makeup flipped my whole world around. I'm now 21, so it's been 4 years since I was diagnosed. 3.5, I should say, because I was turning 18-ish when I was diagnosed, but it's just like my whole life has changed around. Like, when I tell you guys that, like, I mean that. I went through such a fucking shitty time, like, and I don't want this to be a pity video, by the way. This is not a pity video at all. And actually, this is the happier part too. I ended up going to the doctors and saying, dude, I'm having some hardcore nightmares. This isn't normal. This is 2 years ago when I changed my prescription, because I was like, I can't sleep, and I no longer have any night terrors or nightmares. I do walk and talk in my sleep. I don't know if that's part of it because I don't fall into full sleep, but yeah, I'm kind of a creepy sleeper. And I actually, this past September 2016, I was told I was seeing a doctor every 6 months and then to a year, and now I don't have to see my doctor for 2 years because I'm so stable and they feel confident in me not having any issues. And then later, I obviously wanted to start YouTube. I think 2 years ago, a year after that, I bought my first camera and failed completely. I did so bad. Like, I didn't actually put a video out because they were so bad. And then I eventually started to really be like, you know what, who freaking gives a damn? Conquered so much in the last few years, like, for myself as a person. I'm like, who cares what people think? I'm like, I freaking don't care what people think anymore. I'm totally cool with making fun of myself and stuff like that all over the internet. I don't care at all. And finally, January, I decided, you know, like, I'm gonna make videos. I just decided, like, just get your first video out, just the one video, and then you'll be okay from there. Even if I impact one person, it makes everything worth it. And now I have clients who I have a personal relationship with, and are the reason I enjoy my job every single day. Like, I have a full-time job in makeup now, and I never thought that could be a thing. Like, when I go back to when I was 17, I would never have thought I would be a makeup artist full-time, ever, or doing videos and putting myself out on the internet and doing makeup tutorials, and people would actually take interest to it. So I just wanted to tell you guys my little story. I don't really know what I thought was going to come out of this video, but it was just something I felt like I wanted to give you guys a little bit of me. Just like me saying, I'm grateful for everything in my life. I'm grateful to be a makeup artist, and it is more than just being a makeup artist. It is something just so sacred to me. Okay, hopefully you guys didn't fall asleep during that video. But thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, or if you're doubting yourself at all or anything like that, just do it. Nothing bad can come of it. Who cares if you embarrassed yourself? We're over that. It's 2017. Make fun of yourself, laugh at yourself. Yeah, just go out and do whatever you can in life, and yeah. Thanks for watching my video, guys, and please like, subscribe, comment, whatever you would like to do down below. And my Instagram is @muhsk. Yeah, and I will see you guys later on. Okay, bye-bye.